Today we're going to take our drawings from last time and we're going to begin to make them into a more abstract drawing. So one of the most important parts is to work on the right paper. So from your art bag, please make sure that you have the heavier 9x12 paper. It's the larger size. We need that because we are going to be using a different material for our color part of our drawing, and we're going to be using crayons. I will not be accepting drawings on the smaller 8.5x11 paper, the printer paper. You must have your drawing on the larger 9x12 paper. If you make a mistake and you did your drawing on the smaller paper, the lighter weight paper, you can take your drawing and from your art bag, get the larger paper, put it over the drawing, put it in the window, and trace it off using pencil. Remember, when we're finished with our drawing, we're going to be erasing our lines. I have taken my drawing on the heavier paper and traced it onto heavier paper with black Sharpie so that it will show up in the videotaping of the demonstration. You will be using your pencil, not Sharpie. Pencil, not Sharpie. Large paper. I will not be accepting drawings on the smaller paper. To do this correctly, it will take about 30 minutes or 35 minutes. If you do it on the wrong paper, it will be a 0, no points. It must be on the correct paper. Now that we're looking at the drawing, the first thing I want to think about is where I have curve lines. So I have some curve lines, and I'm going to let those go for now. So I'm looking for straight lines. This line is pretty straight, but then it curves, so we're going to do that later. Here's a curve. Here's a curve. This is straight but a curve, so we're going to come back and do those later. This line has some straight parts, but it's straight here and curves, so we're going to come back and do that later. In this drawing, I really only have about 5 or 6 drawings that are totally straight. So I'm including this one as pretty straight. This one is pretty straight. This one is pretty straight. This one is pretty straight. So those are where I'm going to focus first. And I need to use my ruler to make those. And even though this line curves a small amount, I'm going to totally straighten it out. So I'm going to line up my ruler here on the edge. And I'm going to break because it breaks there. And comes here. Okay, so there's my line. I'm going to move my ruler over to the next line. And go totally off the edge. Okay, all right. This is my next line. Lining up the ruler, I'm totally straightening out the curves. I'm breaking where the shape or the line breaks and going off the edge. Okay, and let's see if I have any other straight lines. I have this one. It has a bend. I have this one right here. It starts here and goes off the edge. Now, the tricky part about using the ruler with the metal edge is it helps us make a straight line, but you'll notice that if my writing utensil isn't on the paper, it's not going to make a straight line. And I think that is all. Oh, I have this that has a curve. Okay. So it looks like I have all the straight lines. Here's one right here. You can do that one that's short and this one that's short. Okay, all right. So now I'm going to do the lines with the curves, and I want to, oh, here's one right here. And what I don't want to do is I don't want to do a little bit of the line and then a little bit of the line and then a little bit of the line and a little bit of the line. I'm not going around like this. That is not what we're doing. Okay? That is wrong. So I'm taking out all of the curves. So this is going to be very sharp angled, and it's going to be more like a check mark. And so I might have three. I have 1, 2, 3. This one is going to be kind of across. So I'm really taking out the curves. It's very simple. That's what the abstract is. And here I'm going to have 3. Here I'm having 1, 2, and I can't do this line. I'm not going to go like I did with the green. Okay, and I might break that up a little smaller later. Okay, so I'm going over every line. And I'm creating those sharp angles. They need to be sharp. So that means, just like here where I had the check mark, instead of going all the way around, I'm simplifying it to 2 or 3 lines totally. There's 1. There's 2. Let's make that a little more. It goes all the way over to here. There's 3. Okay. So for every line that I have, I'm turning it into 2 or 3 lines max. Here's 1. I'm dropping that whole curve. I'm not doing this little bulge. 2. I'm not doing this curve. So I'm making all the angles sharp. Very important. All the angles are sharp. So I'm simplifying my drawing in the process. I'm simplifying the image. This is a long line, so I might have a few more changes. Again, I'm taking out the curve. So it's not important that it totally matches up. So I'm losing part of the curve. Everything is sharp angles now. And sharp angles, sharp angles, sharp angles, sharp angles. And simplified. And I think, oh, I have one here that needs to come on through to there. And I have one I haven't gotten here. We'll make that 2 angles. And then this little piece right here. Okay. And here's one more. So at first glance I've missed that, but I changed the angle, so that's done. It's over here now. Okay, I think I have all of the lines. Now I went through that pretty fast. To do a good job with this stage is going to take you 30 to 45 minutes. Okay? Next time, I'm going to show you how to break this down even more into smaller pieces. So we're going to abstract it even more. So before next class, it's really important that you're at this stage. Okay? And let's do this. And you want to have an eraser and erase out all of your pencil lines.
No, original.
For the original drawing. So this was my copy. After I have done the same thing with the ruler and pencil on this copy, I'm going to take out all of these original lines. So the only thing that will be left will be the angular lines that the sharp lines that I've created with the ruler. So on this drawing, that would be the red lines. That will be what's left. None of the black will be showing. That was the original, okay? And so that's where we will be when we start our next class. So, next time, remember that you will have your drawing completed on the heavy paper. That is all that is acceptable. And make sure that it is a 9x12 heavy paper from your art bag. We are taking all of our curves, starting with our straight lines first. Okay, so here were my straight lines, my straightest lines, and I'm using the ruler to straighten them out even more. So I'm making them very bold. When I have done the straight lines first, then I'm going to come back using the ruler and go to my curved lines, but I'm taking the bends out. So on this kind of swoosh, I'm making it more like a check mark. 1, 2, 1, 2. And because this had this branch, it became 3. Okay, here was my curve shape. It became more square, no curves. Okay, so we're translating all of the lines into sharp angles and using the ruler, and that will make it more abstract. Remember, abstract means to simplify, and that is as far as you need to be before we meet next time for class.